Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. It looks like I've got the Port of Los Angeles behind me, and it is a new day with trade, isn't it? And having heard yesterday or the day before an update from the Port of Los Angeles, shipments are quite a bit down. I think we're going to have probably a few shortages of a variety of different products. Certainly, as we rely on a lot of products coming out of Asia, and it's been quite a while now, for a few weeks, that those are not coming in. So it'll be very interesting to see. The good news is that the world of business continues to churn forward. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of activity. There's never been a better time to be part of global business. There are challenges. And so that's why it's so important to do meetings like today. This is League of Extraordinaries. We sometimes do these in person. That's how this event started at the Ritz-Carlton and at 20th and Camelback many, many years ago. It now is mostly virtual. We do this meeting twice a month for members to get together. You'll see, if this is your first time, that members of Global Chamber tend to be very servant leadership oriented. They want to listen to other members and other people and find ways to help. And that's really what this is all about. We'd ask you to share who you'd like to meet. That's the most important thing to share. If there's anything else that you would like to share, some need that you might have, we'll be happy to help. I was talking with Stephen Nikakiris, who's based on the East Coast. He works with CBiz. His company has been hosting Global Chamber New York City meetings in Manhattan. I think there was one just recently, maybe last week or the week before. So thank you, Stephen. I don't think you were able to go to that one, if I remember correctly, but thank you for your sponsorship of that. Thank you for your overall leadership and all the things you're involved with. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Yeah, well, thank you. It's my honor and pleasure to host the meetings, even though I couldn't make it. Unfortunately, I triple booked myself, and I was unable to split myself. But I understand it was a great meeting, and I'm glad it went fantastic. But I'm a CPA with CBiz. We're the seventh largest firm in the country, but we really are a middle market firm, and we really serve middle market companies. And really, I've been a member only for a couple of months, and I've been really enjoying it and trying to participate as much as I can. I'm trying to meet, business owners and decision makers who are looking to learn and figure out ways to improve themselves and improve their businesses. And I'm also a member of Vistage, I think, as you know, Doug, and I find a lot of similarities between my Vistage membership and this organization, and I'm really trying to weave my way through and benefit, from both. But really, it's been great. I had a couple of people come to our office and welcome anybody in the New York area. We have offices all over the country, including where Doug is. But I'm based in New York City. We have an office in Greenwich, Connecticut. We have about 7 offices in the metropolitan area and about 160 offices around the country. And looking forward to meet everybody and try to figure out how we can help each other.
Amazing. Great summary. And thanks for keeping it brief enough to have a question. Does anybody have any questions for Stephen, please? Please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead. I don't hear any questions. So that's cool. Thank you very much, Stephen, for sharing. Let's continue to go around the room. Robert Quinn is a semiconductor industry expert. He spoke at the 4th annual Semiconductor Summit that we hosted at our headquarters inside Thunderbird back in February. The 5th annual Semiconductor Summit is happening in February of 2026. And I saw Eduardo Gonzalez joining. We are planning to do an event in October for the semiconductor industry as Semicon West for the first time is hosted in Phoenix. And I think that I have to confirm with Eduardo, but I think it's October 6th, and Semicon West, I think, is the 7th through 9th. But I'm going to bet Robert knows all about that. Thank you for your great presentation. Thanks for your knowledge about the semiconductor industry. If anyone hasn't read Chip Wars yet and you're interested in the industry, I highly recommend it. And I recommend following Robert Quinn on LinkedIn because he has a daily update on what's going on in semicon. What an amazing industry and what an amazing amount of information and connections, Robert, that you've collected. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Lately I'm kind of fascinated with the Middle East, and I've spent quite a bit of time out there in Oman and speaking with the royal family and the Ministry of Oman. But we have a lot going on in Saudi Arabia and a lot going on in other regions of the GCC. And so I'm finding it more fascinating with all the work that we're doing with we see President Trump in Saudi Arabia making a lot of deals with the Middle East. I have a feeling that the goal is that the Middle East is going to be the hub for data centers for all of Africa and in the Middle East. That's the goal anyways. So that will be the central hub for all data coming out of that region. And we're going to see a lot of growth. And so I'm looking to hopefully connect with a lot of that. I have a meeting here in a little bit with the Royal Fund in Saudi Arabia. We're going to be speaking about possibly having me connect with them and working with them. But as I'm moving forward with that, I love to see what I could do in the Middle East as well.
Who is a good client for you?
Anybody that's involved with NEOM, anybody that's involved with the royal family and the King's University in Saudi Arabia. I did speak with a gentleman the other day that was connected to you through he was in Yemen. And
Bummer. Yep.
I'll have to send you his information. We had a good talk, and he has a lot trying to really grow the Yemen area. But definitely, I'd like to see what we can do about expanding into the GCC and in that area as well.
Our team that's based in UAE with a very strong presence in Saudi Arabia. They just did a Global Chamber London event explaining more about what the opportunities are in the region. And I did get a message from Eamon, one of the two brothers who leads our team there. He'll be in Boston in October at a family office event. And so that might be an interesting thing, Stephen, for you. Some of the companies are going to be there. He's going to be talking about the opportunities in the Middle East, but it's more broadly, high net worth individuals and the portfolios that they manage. Less about semicon, probably less interesting for you, Robert. But overall, that would probably be a way for us to connect you in is through probably Adele Alawadi of our team there. Does anybody else have any either questions or comments or thoughts with Robert? And hearing none. Thank you, Robert, for joining today. Is it Austin? Are you based in Austin?
Austin, Texas.
Okay, very good. Thanks for joining. Let's go to Germany with Rhonda Bowen. You're still in Germany, right, Rhonda?
Yes. Since 1983, that's probably not going to change very quickly, Doug.
You're moving homes, though, I think,
I'm
right?
moving homes, but not moving out of the country. That's right. I'd like to first of all give the word to the guy on my team who helps me do all these wonderful things and helps me keep in line with you guys at Global Chamber because he just told me a wonderful success story. Elijah, would you like to share with the others?
Oh yeah, my name is Elijah. I'm in Nairobi, a digital marketing specialist. I hope we work together with Rhoda. I help her with mostly market research, creating or implementing strategies for the company and doing anything digital marketing. And I was telling her today that this week somebody reached out and they told me they connected with me from Global Chambers, and they were working with an insurance, and they wanted me to help them with some tasks that they were doing in East Africa. And we have collaborated. It was a success, and we are continuing doing the work. I was telling Rhoda today during our meeting that it's something good that has come from these kind of meetings, and I really appreciate. Yeah. So Doug, I've not told you. I think Doug knows Kobe. Kobe is in the insurance industry. He's the one who reached out, and we had a good collaboration this week. Yeah, those are the good news I had shared with Rhoda, and without it's good also to share with the entire team. Yeah, because yeah, you're all amazing.
Congratulations. Would you like to just share who you would like to meet and what you're doing in Nairobi?
Yeah, I'm a digital marketing specialist. Mostly, I help with market research, creating digital marketing strategies, and implementing them. The people I would like to meet, they are either people running businesses already or companies that are already existing. Either you have a new product, whether you're coming up with a product, I help you research the market, understand who are the audiences, understand who are the competitors, what is happening in the market, finding the data that will inform how to refine the product so that you can come up with products or ideas that will really sell in the market. And if you already have existing products, together we refine them and see if they find whether how they're performing, are they bringing the results that you're supposed to be getting. If not, finding gaps and things we can do together, coming up with digital marketing strategies that we can implement and see what results you're going to get. That's what most of times we do with Rhoda, and it's usually very fun. She can tell you that. Yeah, so any business or individual who has a product or is developing a product and they want to sell it out, I help you and help you navigate the digital space in doing that.
Thank you very much. And thank you for sharing that success story. Rhonda, back to you. What would you like to share today?
Well, I'm going to share lots of success stories because I just found that out from Elijah today, but I've had some wonderful talks with various people at the Global Chamber in the last couple of weeks. Things are really starting to come to fruition. It's a little too early yet to mention anything specific, but I've had great conversations and I'm really appreciating. We've only been in Global Chamber since the 1st of January. And I also had the option to pay it forward this time because I've connected Doug to someone for the first time as well. So now it's a two-way street and we're doing this mutually, and I'm really, really pleased with what's happening. All I would like to say is for anybody who's interested, I will be attending the United Nations AI for Good conference in Geneva in July. So if you need connections to any of the important people in the world who are doing AI things at the moment, we will be together for 4 days. I will be there in person. Please reach out and let me know if there's anything you're interested in as far as AI is concerned, and if I can help you get connected to the right people, since I will be in person at the meeting. Hopefully that would be a help. I'll put my details in the chat if you're interested. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you for all of that. That's great news all the way around. I'd like to know more about the conference, and so I'll do some research about that.
I'll put the link in as well to the conference so everybody can. And if you can't go in person, that's fine. You can also attend online, so everybody can go. But I will be there in person, so that's an extra help.
Fantastic. Feel free, all of you, to put your contact information in the chat area. Also, one of the things that happens during this meeting is as we identify connections, they often happen during the meeting. And Cesar Trabanco is here. Cesar, do you have a moment just to introduce yourself and say hi and how you process the connections?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Doug, and hi, everyone. Good to see you all. I think there are new people here for me, Robert and Chet and many others. So normally I can make some connections directly during the event if there's some simple ones that comes to mind. But what I'm doing is just using AI notes from the event, and then we'll circle back with the team and brainstorm some ideas and opportunities for you, and eventually make those connections afterwards.
Yeah, we also have Globi, which is available internal use only at this point. So Globi is an AI-driven tool that is beginning to be used by our team around the world to help them do what's the right thing next for building global chamber around the world. And that's the architecture that we're using to be able to make connections as well. We haven't figured out yet exactly how to roll that out to members, but that's something Cesar is working on, and we hope to have that announced very soon. The time frame and the ways that will be rolled out. A lot of the issue is we could connect everybody. That's not a problem at all. The issue is not everybody wants to be connected, and so how that whole process works in a respectful way, one that respects the culture and the trust, and not to have a spamming situation go on, is critically important. So we're working on the processes to be able to do that. Chet Seto is a new member of Global Chamber, and Chet, I look forward to learning more. You're based in the Washington, D.C. area, and you yourself are outside of Annapolis. Thank you for your leadership. What I've read so far is really impressive, and I loved all of the comments that you made as you've been joining Global Chamber. You definitely are a member of the global tribe. Thank you for your leadership. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Thanks, Doug. And I am new to Global Chamber. As a matter of fact, I was invited to attend the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. chapter at the Select USA conference a couple of weeks ago, and met 14 of the members from the chapter there. And four of the members there had direct, I guess, contacts that they want me to reach out to, one of which said that they have a company that can definitely use my services. A little history about my company. We've been in business now for 25 years, and what we do is we do environmental health and safety compliance services. We've been primary a federal contractor in the DoD arena. But with the global economy the way it is, we see a lot of opportunity of businesses coming into the U.S. trying to not usurp, but get around the tariff situation. So what we're looking for is foreign businesses looking to establish a presence here in the United States. And our job is to help them navigate through all the EPA and OSHA compliance. We met a company, or actually a university, who wants to start operations 3 months from now. And when I found out what they were trying to do, I said, well, you should be talking to me 2 years ago, because some of the things you want to do, the permitting process can take up to 2 years. So what we do is we help them identify what some of the issues are as far as permitting, what they need to have in place in order to operate. Depending on what their operations are, we help them identify locations to minimize their costs for environmental compliance, and also we help them with developing programs to help them stay in compliance. So what we're looking for are foreign businesses looking to establish a presence here in the United States. Anywhere in the United States, we have presence in the West Coast, Hawaii, Central U.S., Texas, Indiana, and of course the East Coast. So we are open to any organization. If they are defense related, then there's certainly certain security criteria that we have to work around. But we're open to any organization that's looking to establish a presence here in the United States.
Fantastic. Is the company based in Ventura, California?
Our headquarters is in Ventura, California,
Okay.
and I am physically located just outside of Annapolis, Maryland.
I see. The other night, we had a great presentation from a company called Anduril Industries. Are you familiar with them? I was not.
No.
They're a company that's gone from 5 employees to over 10,000 employees in just a few years, multi-billion dollars, I think.
Wow.
$5 billion already after just a few years in California, in Costa Mesa, California, and they've just been awarded from the state of Ohio a new factory that they're building that will house about another $5 billion worth of products, which are drones. So it's all defense. Almost all of it is defense industry, but it's U.S. based. You mentioned that it's mainly foreign companies coming in that you're focused on?
Yes, because they don't understand the EPA and OSHA regulations. I think they know they have to comply with them, but they don't understand what it means as far as the timeline, as far as the costing, as far as all the programs that they encompass. And that's where we come in, is we kind of help them navigate through all that, help them identify what they need to do, what the timelines are, what the budgets are. A lot of people don't understand that it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to comply with some of these EPA regulations, and especially if they have air discharge. The first thing I tell them is, if you're going to discharge anything into the air, then California is off your list, because that's the last place you want to operate if you're going to discharge into the air. So we then help them identify what states they should go to, what districts, and then what the permitting requirements are based on where they want to go. I've talked to several organizations who are facility locators at the Select USA, and their job is to help them identify locations where they can establish their plant. And that's where we come in, is, okay, of these 5 locations, here are all the pros and cons from an environmental health and safety standpoint.
Fantastic. Quite a number of people, probably even just within this room, you should be connected to. Great service. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts? Definitely, if you're interested in connecting, please do so. And say sorry, there's probably quite a few here that are interesting.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Gary Moulton works with big companies. He's worked in a big company. He's an executive that helps executives save money. So, Gary, thank you for the work that you do. Who would you like to meet? How can we help?
I appreciate it, Doug. Lately, I've been kind of focusing on nonprofits, although we do help any organization. But one of the things with the challenges of donations coming into nonprofits. So if you have connections into nonprofits, we can go in there. And really what we do is try to find these hidden savings within their expenditures. And then, of course, that money can then be redirected to better initiatives to really help their mission. And so that's really what I've been focusing on. Although I will tell you, again, we can help any organization save funds and redirect those funds to better initiatives. We work with clients in the U.S. and Canada. We are limited in the U.S. and Canada. But it's nice to meet everybody. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. I wrote down 3 for 3. I mean, I think why I'm thinking of them is that all 3 have indicated that things are a little bit challenging right now with funding coming in with the government changes and things like that. So it's got to be a very busy time for that. Maybe that's what's driven you in that direction. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Let's go across the pond to Jennifer. Jennifer Cairns, thank you for joining and being an amazing professional and extraordinary rebel in good ways. Who would you like to meet, Jennifer, and how can we help?
Hi, yes, we're really looking to connect with any business leaders, investors, organizations. That could be CICs, not-profits, but as well as commercial organizations, brands, really anyone who's looking to get involved, along with to have purpose-driven visibility. So a lot of what we do is around creating economic and impact related opportunities for marginalized business owners, especially around gender, neurodiversity, disability, and culture. And we do this mainly through events, media, and technology.
Typically, where are the companies that you're working with? What are the best ones?
Uh, we're working with some very cool people out of Nigeria and Tanzania at the minute, across AI, especially within like the fashion industry and some different things. Canada, we've got some great organizations we're partnered with across Canada. Really, I mean, I think we've got like maybe 19, 20 different countries right now that we have a lot of sort of bigger partnerships. And we do have a strong focus on Canada, um, across Africa, and we're really looking to also do more with building partnerships across India as well.
Okay. I presume you've already connected with Nima at Global Chamber Tanzania.
Yeah, we actually have done an interview with her, and we're going to be doing some work with her in our metaverse as well.
Okay. So the program for Global Chamber Tanzania supporting with the president of Tanzania and Zanzibar is July 9, 10, and probably the 11th. There's another big entrepreneurship event that we're supporting in July in Nigeria as well. And so we'll be continuing to share more about both of those events in the coming weeks. Thank you so much. Appreciate you sharing today.
Thanks.
Franz Mewissen, thank you for joining today. Your international work is really quite extraordinary. So thank you for your work at such a critical time. Are you available to speak? And who would you like to meet? Franz, are you there? Franz was visible, but maybe he had to take a call or step away for a moment. So let's continue to go around the room. Peter Grabick is another international leader, and you've been doing some extraordinary work helping companies grow and invest around the world. Peter, who would you like to meet? How can we help?
Thank you, Doug. And well, it's still technically morning here, but I know it's morning, evening, and all hours out there in the world. So my firm, Global Recovery Group, we work in trade and project finance. We have a fairly mature business line, working with institutional players, export credit agencies, development finance institutions, primarily doing investigations, due diligence, and recovery work. So we have networks, mostly law firms, but a few agents to kind of do on the ground work for these types of activities for us. A less mature business line that we're working on, where we do see opportunities for collaboration, is we operate some EB5 regional investment centers. This is a pathway to immigration for high net worth immigrant investors. It is overseen by United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, which is, of course, under the Department of Homeland Security. We do a lot of public-private partnerships, so this is one of them, obviously large compliant framework, which I will bore none of you with. And we commercialize this effectively through international intermediaries. And so we're always interested in building a network of individuals. It's been mostly law firms and business persons, to effectively identify and introduce those that may wish to participate in this program. I will mention incidentally, you mentioned AI. My company is currently implementing an AI strategy. AI is really interesting because, if you look at the marketing space, everyone's got experts. But I was at a conference here in DC maybe a couple of months ago, where they literally had all the experts. We had people from Harvard, Columbia, MIT, probably about 15 or 16 of the top schools in the region, and they were providing good research. But when it came to best practices, not all of them basically very clearly said, we have no idea how firms are actually using this stuff. I will say, though, there's one statistic that really caught me on technology diffusion. When they just to give us some perspective on how quickly AI is being released into the wild, when they invented the telephone, it took 76 years for it to go from 1 user to 100 million users. ChatGPT did it in 2 months. So that should give us some perspective on what we're dealing with here in terms of a historical rollout. So, that kind of gives you a summary of kind of the types of things that we're working on. I am excited about internally, dealing with some of the realities of implementing agentic AI and AI within our organization. And I'm happy to work with, and have dialogues with anyone who is working in similar areas or interested in similar spaces. So thanks again, Doug.
Thank you. Great work. Peter's been a member of Global Chamber in multiple companies for many years, so thank you very much for your support and collaboration. Franz is a relatively new member, and I see you're back. Would you be able to share now who you'd like to meet and how we can help?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so good morning, everybody. My name is Frans Meijers, and I'm with a company called Amplify Now. We are based in Washington, D.C. and in San Francisco. We are a pure business development consulting and services company focused on technology coming from startups and scale-ups. We help them find corner customers, translate corner customer experiences into customer feedback for product development, for price setting, for market positioning, and for best strategies for market entry. Indeed, companies that we're interested in to meet with are twofold. Of course, always happy to talk with potential customers, but additionally always also looking for potential technology and distribution partners for our customers. We focus on ag tech, cybersecurity, communication, telecommunications, deep tech, but also biotech and ed tech and med tech. I don't think there's any tech that we don't touch.
A lot of tech. That's fantastic. Any questions for Franz? Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate it. Let's continue to go around the room. Thank you, Alma, for joining today. Are you able to speak and share more about the good work that you're doing?
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alma Fuentes. I have a company called Efficient Flow Consulting, and I have about almost 30 years, I would say, in logistics and supply chain. And recently I decided to do projects on my own. So I joined Global Chamber, and I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of nice people. So I love that about the Global Chamber. And I've had some good conversations with some people, so hopefully I get to start having some new projects. And I am looking for, I love finding solutions for customers. That's what I've discovered after all these years, that I love to find solutions, whether it's in logistics, supply chain. I've had a lot of experience with in logistics and most recently in software. I love the idea that people can have a software for their solution for everything now. So I love that about that new thing that we have. And so I'm looking forward to connect with people that have that and work with them and collaborate in new projects.
Very timely. A lot of people interested in finding ways to solve their supply chain problems.
Yes, definitely. I am here. And I am bilingual. I speak both English and Spanish, so that helps too.
Fantastic. Welcome. Thank you for
Thank you.
Milton Castro is in Brazil and works with businesses coming in and out. Milton, thank you for joining today. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Thank you, Doug. And also, Alma, maybe we can talk offline if you have anything that or any companies, clients that are willing to come to Brazil and Latin America.
Definitely.
Because that's exactly, what I'm proposing here. And so my company support market entry to Brazil and Latin America. I start with cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, biotech, food and medtech companies. But not, right now, I believe with all this rush with the tariffs and everything else, it's coming up a lot of other business, and I'm not denying. So basically, any company that are willing to come to Brazil, I'm supporting because of my expertise and my background with supply chain operations, etc. Also, modeling the operation in the best way that the company have a soft landing in Brazil, and also connect with the best partners in Brazil, Latin America in general, and also on the country that the company is starting up. Because sometimes you're even you're on the country, you're like in US, and you don't have the right partners to support you to come to another country. So I think it's these end-to-end solutions are really important for all. And also with Global Chamber, we start to meet a lot of colleagues and companies that we can also indicate and work with. So basically, this is what I'm supporting. And I'm just share my contacts in the chat. So feel free to add me in the LinkedIn and also to get in contact. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Milton. Where in Brazil are you located?
São Paulo. I'm here in São Paulo.
Very good. Great place. Thanks for sharing. Let's continue to go around the room. Melanie Fox of
Hey,
Speech Fox. How are you?
I'm good. And I was just talking about my first Waymo experience the other day, thanks to you, who got me my access to that app. So it made a big dent in my life. I liked it.
You-
Not a
You're
dent in the car. But
you're
yeah,
still here, so it must have worked successfully.
I loved it. But anyway, well, thanks for having me. Sorry I'm late. I had a fun annual physical right before this. So, and a very talkative doctor. Go figure. New Yorkers that are talkative. Anyway, I'm a speech coach. I think I actually have not met a lot of you yet. So I know Mr. Nico Kiros. So hey, Steve. But yeah, I'm Melanie Fox. They call me Speech Fox because speech is my niche. And I help my clients speak clear and confident English through accent reduction and presentation and interview training. And I also work with actors in as a dialect coach. So anything speech. And I like to say that as a coach, I'm very specific. If you want to change the way you sound, if you have a particular presentation, anything from a wedding to a keynote speech or a job interview to a podcast interview, I can help. And my new mission, Doug, I think it's an old mission, but it feels new. I am trying to infiltrate the sports industry. So I love meeting people who are prominent public figures, people in acting, sports, politics, you name it. If they're speaking English and English isn't their native language, they probably could help with some media training and some clarity. But my one of my dreams is to infiltrate the UFC because I'm obsessed with the sport of MMA and I'm never going to be a fighter. They don't even have a weight class tiny as me yet for the women, but I have no skills, so that wouldn't help even if they did have my weight class. But I noticed that in my favorite sport, the fighters, they use interpreters and the audience is not very friendly to it. They just start yelling USA, USA, which is really rude, but that's how the audience is for that sport. And so I'm trying to convince anyone I know to get me into the UFC so that I can help the fighters speak English into the microphone without the interpreter speaking for them because they don't make as much money if some of them don't even get the big fights if they can't carry a pay-per-view and they just don't wind up having a good social media following and their income depends on their popularity. So I would hope that in MMA or other sports, tennis, baseball, soccer, or football in many other languages, that I'm trying to get into the sports industry so that I can help those athletes speak English clearly and make more money and feel good about it. So that's my goal. So if anybody knows Joe Rogan or Dana White, those are two ways in. But if you know any fighters, that's another way in. The fighting nerds are in Brazil, and it seems like everybody's in Curitiba. So
Uh, I
ebony
was going
and
to say that. I was going to say that, especially the Brazilian guys, they are the worst in the microphone, and when they speak, it's really, it's rough.
yeah, so should you know a fighting nerd or Dana White or Joe Rogan or any way in, I know the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ones are the best. Those fighters always win. So if you know them or in any sport, like, Rafa Nadal could have used my help. He didn't need it, but.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And you do a lot of work in New York and also LA. You've got some things going on, and there's a guy I need to connect you with in LA. So I'll do it.
Oh, would love to. Thank you so much, Doug.
So thanks. Let's continue to go around the room. Melanie is amazing, and she's actually, I think you're both on the advisory board for New York and also in LA as well. So
Yeah.
thank you for your help.
My
Um, I think I see Marcos here. Let's go to Marcos next. Is that Marcos Garcia Costa? Uh, is that you, Marcos? Which Marcos are you?
Yeah, that's me, sir.
Okay, very good. How are you? We were talking about semiconductor earlier, and Robert Quinn is in the room. So Marcos is an expert on the semiconductor industry, but he's an attorney and he helps with intellectual property, and he just happens to have a very deep connectivity all across the Americas in the semiconductor and advanced manufacturing. Who would you like to meet, Marcos, and how can we help?
So, as far as meat, you probably already know that through Eduardo, we're kicking around some kind of a panel. We're inviting people for Semicon West from Mexico, and we're targeting some of the big decision makers, like economic development and industrialists. So we're trying to get people to interact with them and get them to get the ball rolling with regards to potential business opportunities within the semiconductor industry. We are looking mainly at the areas of assembly tests to complement what is going on here in the United States, specifically in Arizona. So it is a broad request, and I guess as we move closer, we'll be narrowing it with more specifics.
So sounds good. Marcos Garcia Acosta. I don't think. Oh, I'm able to change your name here, so I'll make sure. And I think you're called Marcos Law. Do you go under that business name?
Yeah, that is correct. You can Google Marcos_law.com and will come up.
And it's Garcia Acosta, not Acosta Garcia, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
But I've been called worse than that. So for the right amount of money, you can call me whatever you want.
That sounds great. Thank you for sharing. Let's go to Sipile. Sipile, I've never been able to pronounce her name. It's Hawaiian origin, and she's in Mexico. So you are so multicultural, and you've even switched company names, I think, maybe companies recently. So thank you for your leadership in the Querétaro chapter. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help, Sipile?
Hi, Doug. Good morning, everyone. Sapelli is the pronunciation. And I am with New Wave Packaging. It has been with them for about 6 months now. And we are looking to meet, and actually, first and foremost, I want to thank you because I've been able to join a couple of these. And when I said I needed to find some manufacturing partners, I found a ton of manufacturing partners now, and we're happy to be moving forward with 3 manufacturers in 3 different countries. Well, here in Mexico and in the UK and another in Canada. Milton Castro, I'd like to talk to you about Brazil though, so I hit you up. And anyone else, and if you are have connections to manufacturing partners around the world, we would love to talk to you about our product. We have Mousse Sticks, which are creamer. These are non-dairy creamer and dairy creamer products that we need manufacturing partners to help produce. But now I'm here today to actually talk about the other side of the business, which is sales distribution. So we're looking for sales distribution companies in the food industry, whether it's food service, hotel, airlines, whatever it is, to help me get this out and sold around the world. So if you have connections to sales distribution companies, we would love to hear from you and see how we can work together to get Mousse Sticks around the world.
Sounds great. Maybe Zach Selch or Rich Wolverton. If you don't know either of those, happy to make a connection.
Okay, thank you.
If anybody has any other ideas, please put it either in the chat or just unmute yourself and feel free to share. We have about, let's see, only have about 10 minutes left, and I think there's about 3 people left. So then we should be able to wrap up at the top of the hour. You're in the League of Extraordinaries by Global Chamber, and the goal here is to hear from other members. Everyone here is a member of Global Chamber, to hear from other members and find out who they'd like to meet, and you get to share that as well, and we all are better for it. Demetris Evans is an attorney. She's the president of the Evans International Law Firm. She's also, I think, running for an election for a group. I think I understand that correctly. And you're the advisory board chair for Global Chamber Chicago. Thanks for your email this morning. We've got a lot coming up in Chicago, which I'm real excited about. Do you have a moment to share and say hi and who you'd like to meet?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone from the Windy City. We're actually getting beautiful sunshine today, so I'm super happy and really glad it's Friday. Thank you, Doug. Good to see everyone. So as Doug already just so graciously has introduced me, over here in the Chicago area, we are planning for a series of webinars, and they will be on several different countries, but we're starting with Poland. And we're mainly looking at how do you basically set up shop or whatever it is you like to do in the Chicagoland area. With my focus in intellectual property, contracts, and compliance law, I'll be looking at that area, but we plan to have a number of industry leaders that can talk about it from that perspective. So if you are interested in anything Poland or Polish, please look out for that webinar. Other than that, I'm just really looking to connect with whoever might need any services, legal services. I did get a chance to do a little shout out via chat to my counsel, Marco. So happy to have other lawyers on the call or be on the call with you. But whatever you need here, we're here for you. Or if there's anything that just as the chair, anyone that I can help you get to know. I know Cesar does like a magnificent job at this, so wouldn't want to take his position, but yeah, willing to use any connections here to make sure you have what you need to do global business.
You're amazing. Thank you very much. Recently, Demetris helped or is helping a member of ours who had a problem with Customs Border Patrol with a wrong inspection. It was done incorrectly. It shouldn't have been done, and she was charged money, $20,000 for it, and the time delay potentially caused $200,000 worth of damage to the goods inside, and it was delayed shipment, so the customer wasn't happy. And so Demetris is helping with all of that. Hopefully, there'll be a favorable outcome. Thank you, Demetris. You mentioned Marcos, and I did forget to mention that he has joined the Global Chamber Phoenix Advisory Board, and that was just announced just recently. Actually, I think it was just announced this last week, so very recently. Let's see, Jim Cook is there. Mr. Cook identifies companies that have unicorn properties and helps them get to the next level. So thank you, Jim, for all the work that you've done and the leadership that you have in Central Florida with Global Chamber. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Well, greetings to the panel, and Doug always drops the unicorn, and we've had some success there. We are looking for our tagline: if you have a scalable solution to a recognized market. If you are interested in getting to the venture capital level, that's what we do, from startup all the way through. And we filter. We have basically a don't, a crawl, a walk, and a run categories on how to get you off the ground. Thanks, Doug. By the way, everybody have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thanks,
I
Jim.
have a question, Jim. So are you working only in US or you are also in other locations, like for example, Brazil, Latam?
What we're working on right now is incoming because I think the next 2 or 3 years, both city, state, and federal governments are going to be looking for bringing stuff here, whether it be manufacturing or the ability to tag into intellectual property. All right,
Okay.
there's things we don't do. We don't do fashion. You know, we've done the food, we've done the tech. Going back to AI, our clearance just on, we don't call it persona, we call it buyer, and it's 13 pages long, just to find out who the correct buyer is and how to touch them.
Okay.
But
To be like
Brazil's
more for
always
buyers.
interesting. It's so, how's the word the word down there is just government oriented.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I'm thinking about more biotech and the pharma business. There's a lot of development, and I have some contacts with universities here, but they don't get all the financial and all the incentives that they must have to develop or to bring. So there's some startups here that are moving to Boston, and to California, but I think that's
Well,
maybe
farm
we
is
can talk
interesting.
offline.
I know Bob, Doug's got to get on. I dropped my
Yep,
stuff in the chat. Drop me a note. I may make some suggestions and we'll take it from there.
just it. Thank you.
Thanks to the two of you. Alicia Castellanos of Global Tax, our everybody's favorite topic. Alicia, thank you for joining. You're in the New York area, I think. Are you Jersey, New York? What's your situation and who do you want to meet? How can we help? Oh, you're on mute.
Hi everyone. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I just finished a client call, but I'm really excited to be here. I am a new member. I am based out of New York City. So my company, we work with my company is called Global Taxes. We work with high net worth and ultra high net worth non-US families with the US connection. What that means is that they are investing in the United States. So they could be buying real estate, they could be investing in private equity or the stock market, or they may be moving to the United States or setting up businesses here. We help them with structuring those businesses or pre-immigration tax planning. We also work with Americans going overseas or moving overseas or setting up businesses overseas, or giving up their US citizenship or green cards. We work with Americans who may already be outside of the United States and maybe they never knew they were American. And once they find out, well, now they have to file tax returns and regularize their tax situation, because once you are a US citizen or green card holder or a tax resident, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you still have to file tax returns. We work with both individuals and entities, including trusts. We do a lot of non-US trust work. What that means is we work with non-US trustees who who are trustees of non-US trusts with US beneficiaries. So there's a lot of compliance that goes into play when that's the case, and we help them with reporting. So we have both institutional and individual clients. And a good referral source for me is our trust and estate attorneys who do cross-border, but even those who don't, because sometimes they do, with the world being so global, we do we do have a lot of attorneys who work with clients who touch the global space. And then
Fantastic.
I speak Spanish and some Portuguese as well. So I saw someone who was from Brazil earlier. I think they're gone, but but yeah, happy to help and happy to meet everyone.
Great to meet you, and thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. We're right at the top of the hour. We only have about 2 to 3 minutes left, and I want to make sure Cesar has the final word and closes us down with any comments or questions that we have there. We have 2 more events today that I'm aware of. One starts in 30 minutes. That's our first in a series of global real estate conversations. And so if you are interested, or that one allows non-members to participate, Jim Huang is leading that conversation. He is unbelievable. Global real estate is his business. He is an extraordinary, amazing man. So supportive of so many people, including Global Chamber. I highly recommend it if you're interested at all in real estate. And then in 3 hours, we have about 3 hours, I think it may be plus minus, but it's a global review of minerals and rare earth. And it's a rare opportunity that we get to hear from Mel Sanderson, who knows that industry inside and out. She's also a global leader from all over, including the DRC. If you ever need anything in the DRC, in Africa, Mel is the one person from outside the country who knows everybody there. So, and she's extraordinary. But now she's mainly involved in mining and rare earth and minerals. And you might have heard that in the news. A lot of hot stuff going on there. Cesar, what else should we close with?
Thank you, Doug. I just put the links there to those two events today and to the general calendar for all of you to take a look and join us if you can. Alicia, it's great to see that you made it. We're onboarding you yesterday and you told you had a meeting, so it was great to see you here. And yeah, no, anything you need, you feel free to reach out to me and check out connections and support with events and anything in general. Next week, we have the Tokyo, Japan meetup, and we have an event in Saudi Arabia with one of our members who moved from the US. So a lot of interesting things happening here. And again, thanks, Doug, for moderating and everyone else for joining us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend. And the beginning of June starts on Sunday. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doug. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Milton. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Stephen, Dimitri.